All right, so what we have here is our countertop. And I want to point out that the end grain here shows that it's truly tongue and groove. Came from Kentucky. I guess they do a lot of flooring there with the hardwoods. So you can kind of see the end grain, right? I don't think it looks bad. I was told maybe 3/4 inch probably wouldn't be thick enough. My cabinets aren't very big. I just have this one countertop and this big cutout for the sink. It works fine. I don't have any support under here besides a couple 3/4 inch cross pieces that are screwed in, and I actually screwed up from the bottom from those thin pieces, and I was able to suck down this tabletop, which was bowing up slightly, crowning due to gluing and everything. So it looks pretty flat now. I'm pretty happy with it. It's been 5 months I've been living in here and using this, mostly letting a little bit of water get on it, but I have this handy dandy rag that I was pretty much wiping up water anytime it would spill. It's been working pretty well. I don't really have any stains. There's one little mark here. I don't know what that was from. It's black. It looks fine. It's a countertop. If I get 10 years out of this, great. If I get 5 years, bummer. But I think I'll get 5 years. So anyway, or more. What I want to show you is I made up some pine tar and linseed oil. And I kind of did half and half. It's just your standard Sunnyside pine tar with that Swedish stuff that I bought online from that site I can't remember the name of, but there's not too many pine tar sellers, so should be able to find it. I probably more oil than pine tar right now. The oil is inside, and it's probably going to need to be heated up because the pine tar was left outside, and it's a solid 43 degrees outside, but it appears to be mixing, so maybe I won't. We'll see. So yeah, I'm gonna mix this up, and then we're gonna start putting down the second coat. I've done one coat already of pine tar and linseed oil before I put it in here, and I just want to hit it up again because 4 is the magic number. Who knew? I thought it was 3, but I guess it's 4. So, hey, full disclaimer, I have Rona, so you should probably wear a mask. Okay, we got that out of the way. So, I mixed up the pine tar, and this is the countertop. It's looking pretty. I've been using it for 5 months, and no problem so far. It's just tongue and groove, red and white oak, glued together, joined, then glued. Posted a video, blah, blah, blah. It took 3 days to make. It was a fun project. I'm glad I did it. I got the materials for free. Would I do it again? Hopefully I don't need to. So, here we go. So I want to put too much on. This stuff is going to make my house smell. I also am experimenting with a different rag, which I'm realizing I shouldn't use this rag because it has lots of fibers in it. But we'll probably wipe off. So let's just use it. Let's just go with it. Let's just wing it. We're winging it here. Folks, we're winging it. Winging it with COVID. This is the second time I've had COVID. Yeah, I actually went over to a friend's house to help with a toilet, and it was their idea to have me take a test, and it turns out I had COVID again. So great, good thing they did, because nobody wants that. I don't want it again. Ideally, you want to put this on when it's hot, because the linseed oil will dry faster. I did not do that. The linseed oil is room temperature. The pine tar was put in at 40 degrees. Been sitting outside, so it's not ideal, but I don't have the patience to heat it up and risk making a mess in my house cooking it. So I'm just gonna do this, and it's mostly gonna be pine tar. Just kidding. It's mostly gonna be linseed oil, it looks like. But you know what? That's fine, because it'll still smell like pine tar. Pine tar has a very distinct smell. What is pine tar? Pine tar is... Crap, what is pine tar? Pine tar is resin from pine trees that are burned in a pit with other trees of the same type. And sorry, you should just look it up. Not really sure. You get the steam you make turpentine out of, and well, you can look up what turpentine does. I have since forgotten what I learned because I have COVID and my brain is foggy. I had a fever and I don't remember very much. So hopefully the fog will lift. But
feeling way better, and that's why I decided to do this today and make this little video. So, we'll probably not include any of my commentary because I'm just rambling. And I should have put more pine tar in here. Shoot, it's okay. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with all of it, and coming along pretty well. I think I mentioned once in my life that the cabinets, my uncle came to help me make them. Materials for the cabinets were $600, and the materials for the countertop was $0. In 3 days, well, not 3 full days, but it took me 3 days. And
I'll do a video on what the inside of the house looks like and what it's been like living in here. But I am not done with my trim yet, and I do not want to show an untrimmed house. So I will not post those videos until April or May, when I intend to finish. Okay, so we put the pine tar and the linseed oil on. It's very shiny. It's hard to see in here because the sun's hitting the camera, but I'm going to let it sit for a moment, and then I will take a dry rag, the same rag but on the back's the other side of it, and just dry it down really well. It's going to stay wet for a little while because it's raw linseed oil, and raw linseed oil takes days to dry. Yeah, this doesn't get much better than that. Clean living. Clean living. 2, I made this cutting board before. Always make a cutting board before you experiment with this kind of thing, this specific kind of countertop thing, because you can test it out. I had people cut things and put wet things on it, and it was fine. So I knew the countertop was going to be a success. Why am I yelling? Because I have COVID. Okay, so I made a cutting board before I made this countertop, just to test out to see if the pine tar actually did what it was supposed to do, and used it for about 2 weeks, and it seemed to repel water. It didn't get mildewy, moldy, and I'm pretty happy with it. And now I use this cutting board all the time, which is convenient because it matches, which is also convenient. La 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 la. Oh, lulale. Lulale. Yeah.